Congress moved one step, the House moved one step closer to keeping the federal government funded past the looming September 30th deadline. Now, what they did is they approved in the House a rule to advance the House continuing resolution. Now, it was a party line vote, 216 to 210. House Speaker Mike Johnson is reportedly still eyeing a Friday morning floor vote on the stopgap funding measure. They're still trying to get a few more votes together. Congress will be out next week, and so this will pass the House, and as we were just talking about with Senator Langford, it will go over to the Senate. What will they do with it? Well, we'll see. You heard what he had to say. All right, joining me now to discuss what's happening in the House, Congressman Mark Harris. He serves on 3 House committees, including the Judiciary Committee and the Education Committee. He represents the 8th Congressional District of North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte. Congressman Harris, welcome back to Washington Watch. Always great to see you.
Tony, it's always great to be with you.
All right, so the House getting closer, inching closer. I understand there's a handful of votes yet to be wrangled to pass the CR. Talk a little bit about the internal conversations among Republicans. What are the concerns about passing a clean CR?
Well, of course, I think the main concern that many have about any kind of CR is all of us have run on wanting to get back to regular order. We want to see the appropriation bills get passed. Obviously, this was a bit of a unique situation where a lot of time was eaten up so far this year in getting the reconciliation bill done and getting it through. So we find ourselves facing this deadline of September 30th that's upon us. We've only got just a handful of appropriation bills through. And so the reality is there's going to have to be a CR. Now, I'm a proponent, quite frankly, and have been all along, of a year-long CR if we're going to do one, more long-term, simply because that is going to at least hold spending at a level place and avoid any kind of increase in spending. But it seems like the better play at this particular point is going to be a short-term CR that's going to get us to November 21st, and it'll be clean, and that's going to give us more time to get more accomplished with many of these appropriation bills that are out there. The Democrats to give some top numbers to our appropriators, but we're making progress, and I'm hopeful that we're going to get that come Friday.
Well, I agree with you. I think a longer-term CR is probably better because every time you have a vote, there has to be negotiations, and when there's negotiations, things have to be given up. And while it might not necessarily be in the CR itself, as it's described as a clean CR, there are side deals that have to be made to get votes. So that is problematic. And to your point, there's been all this discussion about getting back to regular order, meaning passing the 12 appropriations bills, having the discussions, having the committee hearings on those. And I know the House is proceeding, but at the end of the day, it doesn't get all the way through the process. It's been almost 20 years since that has happened. What kind of commitment is the House leadership making to ensure that you get back to that regular order?
Well, again, I think the Speaker's made it very clear that that's his goal and would like to see us get there. Again, we do have to deal with the Democrats and making sure we have an idea of the top numbers with appropriations that they're going to deal with when it gets to the Senate. Obviously, that's the big challenge the House has. If the Republicans all stick together, we can pass something through the House, but then it gets over the Senate, and it's going to be Chuck Schumer's problem. And they've got it's got to be 7 Democrats that avoid the shutdown, really, by stepping up and passing it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens here. I want to switch gears a little bit because you serve on the House Judiciary Committee, which yesterday heard testimony from FBI Director Kash Patel. Now, during that hearing, as I was watching it, you brought up the Biden administration's weaponization of federal agencies, targeting not criminals, not violent crime, but Christians in churches.
Absolutely. We brought up the question to them up front that was it wise to spend resources on spying on the Catholic Church? And I specifically use that word spying because what they've been doing is absolutely atrocious. And we genuinely felt like we needed to step in and ask the FBI director. And I even carried it one step further and pointed out, having been a pastor for 36 years, was it possible that I was on Ray's FBI FBI watch list. And the director, Kash Patel, assured me that while he couldn't speak to that at the moment, that he would assure me that I would not be on his watch list or the watch list of the FBI under his leadership.
Well, actually, I'd like them. I'd like to be on my watch list. I want them to watch the program. I want to hear the truth of what's going on. Now, I understand his response to you is that he went a little further. He's said that the FBI would be, quote, zealously protecting our First Amendment rights, end quote. And that's for all Americans. I mean, I think
Yes.
you and I agree that every American has a right to speak, and their speech should be protected and should be targeted because we disagree with it.
Oh, you're exactly right. And this is a very, very serious issue, a touchy issue that I think all of us have got to be aware of. We had a hearing just a few weeks ago that we brought in Nigel Farage there from the Great Britain, where we've all watched this thing just get crazy with censorship and the hate speech. And anytime the government uses that and puts something in, it seems like Christians are the ones that get the black eye. And again, you found where people are being arrested for praying silent prayer,
Right.
even outside of abortion clinics.
Right.
And so we've got to be very wise in how we approach it.
All right. Just a minute left, Congressman Harris. Any other major takeaways from yesterday's hearing?
Well, it was obvious to me that Kash Patel and his leadership there at the FBI is making an incredible difference. I mean, you're seeing the crime rates come down. You're seeing the amount of fentanyl that's been stopped at the border and all of those things. The work that's being done has been phenomenal. The Democrats, they honestly don't have anything to do but just to attack him personally. And one thing I was very impressed with Director Patel, he made it very clear on a number of occasions, you can hate me, you can attack me personally, but don't come after the good men and women of the FBI who are simply doing their jobs to protect this country. And I think President Trump and Director Patel are setting a whole new standard for all of us.
All right, Congressman Mark Harris, always great to see you, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Great to be with you.